So this was a frame that I had that I didn't like, that I wrapped acrylic skins around. Just a little bit of glue to get it to stick, and then I covered it again with polyacrylic. I think I did 2 coats, and I think this is satin, not gloss. I believe this is satin. Yeah. Well, anyway, I have another project in mind, and I've had this in mind for a while, because you'll see I've been doing this for a while. I have a ton of these little hats. Some are white. Let's see if I can pick another one. Some are gold, and they are made from candy wrappers. I want to fill this inside with these, and I think I might have enough to do it. They're all flat right now, so I have to plop them all out with my thumb because I would like them to seem like they are real, but they're like little kingly hats. Do you see what I mean? You see what I mean? Oh, so that's what these are. Here's one in gold. It'd be better if I stick my finger on it. There you go. So that's about how big they are. This is an 11 by 14 canvas. I did leave the cardboard back on, but this right here is an acid-free piece of matte board. I'm not exactly sure where I got it from, but I needed a piece of acid-free to put this on, because then I can always switch it out to a different frame if I'd like to later. But I like the idea of putting it in this frame with this acrylic skin that I covered it with. It's quite an interesting thing to me, and I think I'm going to use some hot glue with this. I thought about using a different glue, but I'm not sure. And while I'm doing this, because I folded a bunch of these like practically non-stop for a while I was really stressed out. That's why I'm calling this anxiety. I'm not exactly sure how I want to put it yet, but I'll tell you this before I get to that point, because I'm going to arrange them before I glue them. I learned how to fold like this. Fold these little, they look like little crowns, kind of. I think that's what they're supposed to look like. Years ago, at a fancy restaurant. I was a very late child for my parents, and I was the youngest grandchild, and you know, my first cousins are a generation older than me or more. I have some that have passed. And so I was always good at being quiet and well behaved at restaurants. I got interested in how the napkins were folded. And so I used to get lessons on how napkins were folded in fancy restaurants from the people who folded the napkins. I don't remember where we were when I learned this. I think we were in Nova Scotia. I think that's where I learned this. I think we were in Nova Scotia traveling. If this is a napkin, you just hold on to the points of the crown and you pull apart, and it becomes the perfect size to put in your lap. So I'm going to spend time, a lot of time, opening these up and making sure they don't completely fall apart. Okay, so I laid out what I wanted to lay out in here as far as all of these little tiny folded crowns in different colors and different materials, but all of them made from wrappers of some kind, or the A is actually made from foil. So I considered trying to make it out of some red wrappers, but I like this better. The A is, you know, the scarlet letter A, but in this case it stands for anxiety, because anxiety is what created all of these little hats. Sometimes you have to do things with your hands in order to keep your mind from running away with itself. And repetitive actions can be calming sometimes. But it is very much a scarlet letter A, and it's hidden amongst the chaos in our lives. People don't understand it. People don't understand anxiety at all. I think even the people who suffer with it don't understand it. I really don't understand it, and I've been trying to understand it for years now because I have it associated with my PTSD. But I had an idea for this piece a while ago because I had a habit of taking these wrappers, these golden wrappers, and folding them into these little hats. I'm going to do that and turn that into an art piece about anxiety. And I knew what it was about the moment I thought about it. But I think I like how it turned out. This is the basis of it. I still have to glue all this down, so it might not end up looking exactly like what it looks like now. And I will speed up the gluing down process because, oh my God, if I don't, you'll be bored as hell. This is the finished piece, except I do need to, I'm going to put a real light spray coat, I think, of some kind of polyacrylic over this just to keep it from damage, because it could easily be damaged, this piece. But I also want you to try to see the dimension in this as well. That is the finished piece. My Scarlet A there.